In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you a story of a lady who was molested, who was raped, or I would call it gang raped, by what she called her friend or a client. A lot of people are in the job of sex work, who the people we call sex workers or prostitutes, but they have a lot of stories behind it. Some people get rich through this business, some people suffer. Some people don't get anything out of it, but they are being taken from. They lose a part of themselves. They go through hell, but some are there to survive. I met this girl online and she shared her story with me while crying. She told me she had scars. She has a story, a traumatizing story. She was a planned kid. When I say a planned kid, she's a girl who grew up in a family where money was not a problem. They had some good money, the dad was working, her mom was working, and they would provide for her. In Africa, it's not like in Europe where your parents, if they can't provide for you, the government will take you. No. In Africa, that's why we have a lot of street kids or a lot of poor families, because when you birth kids, it's your responsibility. So I'm telling you this so guys, you can know what I'm describing for you. I want you to understand this story very well. That I'm trying to show you when I say a planned kid, what I mean. Where your parents are providing for you, they are giving you everything they can, they are trying to make you happy with everything they can. You are living in a happy family with lots of money. She told me she went to good schools and she was a stubborn child. She was kind of spoiled because of the love she was receiving from home. She used to do stuff that people do not, like people would be, what? Why would you do that? Because of the money she was getting from home. She used to dodge classes. She used to get expulsions from schools. She used to be like, if she's expelled from this school because of her bad behaviors, she's going to be put into another school. I would say her parents, according to our conversations, or according to our conversation, her parents were not holding her accountable for what she was doing. So she got spoiled in that manner. She went through school in that hustle, but she did not finish her high studies because she told me she dropped off when she was in year 2 on her university. While she was doing law, she used to do drugs. She used to date one guy and another because at one point her family broke up and it became dysfunctional, that she had to stay with her mom and her siblings and their dad left. So when this happened, she felt like she's no longer loved enough. She felt she does not receive enough financial support the way she used to. Being spoiled and being fed, that she's been provided with everything, she was too lazy to work for herself. So when things got tough, she had a friend who introduced her to this business. She used to do all this stuff, partying, jumping from this boyfriend to another, but she wasn't into the business of sex trading or something like that. Then one day, she told me she was very broke. She had nothing to eat, and she wasn't in good terms with her parents. They are not supportive anymore. Even if she calls, they ignore her calls. That only made her traumatized, that she can't receive the love. So she thought she will get the love she's looking for from men. When she joined this business, she started working when she was 22. And all was going well. She was getting good money because she told me she was not roaming on the streets, but she used to go on dating apps, or she used to go on different dark apps where people sell themselves or where people get these sex workers from. and she would get clients there who would pay her a very huge sum of money just to sleep with her. So things were good, and she got people. She called her regular clients, that this one would call you and you have his number, so you no longer need to go to the app. And when I asked about the app, she told me they pay these apps to profile them. You have to have a profile there, but you have to keep paying money so that you keep, like, they keep you on the page. And she thought it was all good, and life is going on very well as she wanted it to be. She's loving herself and living her life, going on vacations, spending money the way she wants, because she would make almost 1 million Ugandan shillings in a day. So a young girl without any responsibilities making 1 million shillings in a day, or perhaps 700,000, or let's say 100,000 in a day. What is she supposed to do with this money? Go on vacations, of course, because she doesn't have any responsibilities. She doesn't have kids. She told me she was protected. But on this fateful day, she had one person she called her friend, her client, her old client. Like, they reached an extent of exchanging deeper conversations, and she thought this person understood me very well. On this fateful day, the guy calls her and she goes out to meet the guy. It was in his car. The guy told her, this time round, I don't want you to service me, but I want you to go with me to a friend's house where we are holding, they call them house parties. And I think she was like, she told me I wasn't feeling well that day, so I didn't want to go. And I told him, I don't think I can make it. But she decided, I'll go. Still, I will go. Even if it is like this, I'll go. And she proceeded and went to the friends. And she went with her friend after being paid some good money. When she reached the place, she found 6 guys. 6 guys without anyone there. No woman, no ladies, no girls. And she's like, you told me it's a house party and you told me your friends, because she told me her friends, she told me that the guy told her he can't go alone because his friends all have girls along with them, so he will be the old man out. He needs company. That's why he was requesting her to come along with him. She decided to join and they went. Reaching there, the thing is not how she expected it to be. And she said, oh yeah, I'm paid for this. I will work. Being that she's used to this lifestyle of drinking and taking drugs, she told me I knew if someone would mix drugs, because if you mix them, you can pass out quickly. So I can tell from just sneezing from them. She told me when they reached here, she said, okay, I'll stay, but I'll not stay for long. I'll have to leave. And the guy told her, it's okay. Then when they started drinking and having their stuff of drugs, they told her, do you want to take shisha? She said, no. Do you want to take this? No. And then she said, okay, I'll take 1 glass of some wine. But apparently the wine they gave her was drugged. She told me, when I took the first sip, I knew it is drugged. But I don't know how much amount of drugs that were put in that thing, because I started losing conscious. And I felt like I can't walk, I can't move my feet, I can't move my hands, I'm just there. And this is where the horror, the terror that happened in her life started. She was hearing whatever was going on or was happening to her, but she could not scream. She could not move her fingers. She was just there, as in just there. 6 guys used her, all of them on that day. They used her, and after using her, the so-called friend or client drove her back because this guy, this is how she was doing her business, or she has been doing her business. She would get clients, and some clients, who, like prominent people who would not want to go to a hotel, they would come to her place. Coming to her place means extra money. You have to pay extra. If per hour you were supposed to pay me 1 million Ugandan shillings, you might end up giving me 1,300,000 Ugandan shillings. So it would work for her. And some of her clients knew where she stayed. And in this case of this young man, he knew because they had become friends. Because they had been together for a long time, and he knew. He drove her back home and took her and left her on her door. She woke up in a hospital where she was taken by her friend who had come to spend the night with her. All of her wasted and used. To date, she received her medication, but she is living with these scars. She knows the people who did this to her, but she can't do anything to them. She can find them on media and see them, but there was nothing she can do. She wanted to share her story with us, so maybe it can make her feel better. This is what she told me. Share my story with others. And I want this to go to all girls out there who think that if you sleep around with men, your life will be better because of money. You might get the money, but things might not go well with you. The good part of this, she didn't contract any diseases like HIV. She's HIV free, but she feels she's living with this trauma, and